Papa John sucks. So, although they did used to sponsor my show unwittingly back when it was a public access show, I used to get that for the crew. So, anyways, Schnatter turns out, of course, is a Republican douche, and he's a Trump supporter, bad guy.
I knew he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah. He's a bad guy in every way imaginable. So at some point, somebody outs him, and they release a phone call where he's saying terrible things, including racist things, right? So instantly, he becomes a folk hero, and then he gets fired out of the company that he started and was the CEO of. So instantly, he becomes a folk hero for the right wing. Poor racist guy, fired. It's just a win-win for them. He's canceled, so they're outraged. In fact, the serious story is about someone who actually is in the middle of getting canceled, and I'm going to defend her. But this is not a cancel. This is like, you're bad for business. Now everybody thinks we're racist, and we don't want the racist guy selling the pizza, and nobody's going to buy it, right? It's just capitalism is what it is. But he's a cause celeb now. And so he goes on OAN, and the interviewer there is this young woman who's like, "Oh, what happened to you, of course, was heinous and evil." Heinous. And he says at the end of the interview, like, "Yeah, oh my God, they smeared me. This is unbelievable, outrageous. I can't believe they canceled me over this thing." Blah, blah. And then he says, "And look, I've been working on myself, and I've been working the last 20 months to get the N-word out of my, out of my language and the way I speak." Wait, first of all, you just admitted that you've been using the N-word for the last 20 months, let alone before, and that it's taken you 20 months to work on that project, and you're not quite home yet.
That's right, not quite. How long is this program, man?
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
He's like, and it's like, does he have a button? Does he have a badge? Like, oh, I've been clean for, well, not 20 months. I've been working on it 20 months. I'm clean since I've been on the air. Like last 11 minutes, I'm clean for not saying the N-word.
And just for the record, he didn't say the word, right?
No, in the interview he said N-word. Thank God.
Yeah, because I was just reading about the story as you were talking about it, and he quoted other people saying it, sort of in his way, and I was like, well, I wonder. And I read it, and I was like, a guy who says it that comfortably, even in the dumb context that he quoted it, uses it. I thought, and then instantly that little thing where I was like, I don't know whether he uses it, and then literally like 2 minutes later, the whole point of this story, which I did not know, was that he clearly uses it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but then why are we having an interview? Well, and of course, you're going to be shocked to find out that the right-wing outlet, OAN, did not do the most obvious follow-up question of all time. The charges that I earlier referred to as heinous of you being racist, would they not be buttressed by the fact that you just told me that you're having incredible difficulty not saying the N-word in your private life over the last 20 months? Would that not be an issue? And perhaps maybe not those charges not as heinous as we previously imagined. That follow-up did not happen.
I don't understand PR, man. Like, first of all, I guess nobody else is going to book you, right? So, it's not like he can go on CNN or MSNBC or something to try and rebuild his brand, right? But he doesn't need to go on OAN, right? And I guess unless he's going to try and just sell to that wing, right? Which I guess you could do, right? I suppose, right? In some company. So maybe I'm wrong, but it just strikes me as like you're just going on to an audience that is, they've forgiven you. Like there's no value in this. But I guess this is the new era. You want to capitalize on the people who are with you and not concern yourself with people who are not with you.
No, look, I'll give you the exact quote, both to be fair to him and to be unfair to him. He says, quote, "We've had 3 calls for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary and dictionary and everything else, because it's just not true. Figure out how they did this and get on with my life." So wait, getting rid of the N-word from your vocabulary was among your top 3 goals. and the first one you mentioned. And so, look, guys, is there a context for the N-word? Some people say no, under no circumstances. And currently that's the cultural norm, and for logical reason, right? But in the past, people used it in a news context to quote other people saying hateful things, right? So, and they've used it in other contexts, and civil rights leaders have used it to quote others, to draw attention to it, etc. Right? It's used in rap music by African Americans, so we understand all of that, right? But this guy is saying it's not in the past, it's not in a different context. In this context, I rolled up my sleeves, I put my shoulder into it. 20 months, almost there. Almost there.
Almost there. Right. And I hope it's a 22-month program, Schnatty. You know, it's funny. I recall now, I'm remembering all the stories that came out because his politics came out during the 2012 campaign when he vociferously came out against the Affordable Care Act. And at the time, he was widely quoted and widely seen for saying that he would have to significantly add to the cost of pizza to pay for Obamacare, so that it will force small-time operators, you know, of which I guess his franchisees were, you know, out of business. And that was, as you remember, a frequent talking point, right? That doctors, remember all the doctors who were against Obamacare? All those doctors who, I guess the argument was
they were going to move to Venezuela or somewhere to get away from Obama's socialism and practice real medicine.
Right, practice real medicine because doctors, of course, don't want more insured patients going to doctors. That's a disaster for doctors. Yeah, sounds like so. I mean, it was so wrong on its face, and he was so widely quoted. I mean, he was like in the mainstream of thought. And now we realize that, you know, of course, I'm sure I haven't read it. If you asked me to make a wager, which I sometimes do, does Papa John think Barack Obama was born in the United States? Right. No. I don't know what he said about it. I don't know. But if I had to guess, I'm pretty clear now on which way I'm going to put my money.
Oh, I'd give you odds.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no. I'd be shocked if he thought Obama was born in America. So look, we're out of time. We got to move to the next thing. But to be fair, that what Schnatty was talking about back in 2012 did happen. You remember that great Direxit, where all the doctors left the country. Right. Yeah. Like we lost 28% of all doctors left.
Yeah.
Oh, right. None of them left. None of them. And there were never any FEMA camps either.
All right. Thanks for watching this free clip of Old School. Don't forget to become a TYT member today for the rest of the show and for more exclusive content throughout the network. Join now at tyt.com/join. We found television's best kept secret.